EF20 Online is sponsored by the Climate Council of Greater Kansas City and KKFI 90.1 FM, Kansas City Community Radio. Please welcome the Mayor of Roeland Park, Mike Kelly.
Thank you very much, Bob, and good morning to everyone who's taken this beautiful day to celebrate Earth Day and celebrate Kansas City's collective climate action. My name is Mike Kelly, and I'm the Mayor of Roeland Park, Kansas. I want to thank Bob and the entire team at Climate Council of Greater Kansas City for the invitation to be with you here today and to kick off the Speakers Forum. It's a wonderful event. Let me be the first to lament that we're not able to be together in person today. We all miss that connection, but obviously we're all doing our part to help flatten the curve in fighting this collective enemy in the coronavirus, which I'll be the first but not the last to note that there are some real silver linings and some educational opportunities and parallels between our response to this virus and to the challenge of a changing climate. So I'm frankly excited about some of the silver linings we're going to be able to take from this. And I can't wait until next year's Speaker Forum, where hopefully I get the opportunity to meet with you all in person. The reason that I've been invited to speak here today is not just my mayor's role as mayor of one of the metropolitan cities, but I'm one of the co-founders and chairman of the board for Climate Action KC. It's one of the partner organizations of Climate Council. What we are is an organization of over 100 elected officials in Kansas City, as well as educational partners and some corporate and utility partners focused on regional action for climate mitigation and adaptation. We've come together to focus on helping implement good policy at a local level and at a state level, as well as help give guidance on our current emissions level, our risk and vulnerability, as well as to help create and implement a plan for climate action. So what I'd like to do, first of all, is share a brief presentation, and I'll move through it quickly to give you a little understanding on Climate Action KC and how hopefully we can continue to work together towards a better climate for the metropolitan area. So Climate Action KC was founded by myself and Lindsay Constance. She's a councilwoman in the city of Shawnee, as well as an educator in the Shawnee Mission School District and a candidate for Senate, for the Kansas Senate. And she'll be running this November. We came together knowing that as elected officials, we have a unique opportunity to help promote and implement good policy. And we knew there were others who felt like that there was more that could be done as local elected officials, and we wanted to provide a mechanism for that to be able to happen. Obviously, what motivated us is our children and wanting to do our part to protect the planet, which is theirs. We want to pass it on in a better condition than when we found it. Lindsay's got a child who's in kindergarten right now, and when you think about the IPCC report and the 12 years we have to make radical change, Lindsay likes to say that she thinks about that in terms of Lucy's graduation. She'll be a senior in 2030 and wants to know that she'll have hope for a cleaner planet. Obviously, Kansas City is in the front lines of the necessity for climate action. One of the studies we like to point to is the Climate Disruption Index. The Climate Disruption Index ranked metropolitan cities throughout the country based on the impacts they're expected to feel for a changing climate. And Kansas City ranked 5th of the metropolitan cities in the country. People think of climate change as a coastal problem, but given our urban heat islands, expected increase in heating degree days, as well as changes in extreme weather, Kansas City very much is at the front lines of this challenge. So we wanted to convene elected officials. In December of 2018, we started by getting 135 leaders together to talk about Project Drawdown, which is Paul Hawken and his team's study about what solutions that are currently in existence could be implemented and fast-tracked to help draw down the amount of carbon in the atmosphere to a livable level while increasing co-benefits such as improved public health, increased air quality, as well as economic opportunity. So we formed Climate Action KC, which is led by an executive board of mayors and councilors, school board presidents, focused on three big issues. First is a climate action plan. I'll speak about that in a moment. Also, it's good public policy. We have both a Missouri and a Kansas state platform advocating for good action at the state levels. We've also created a policy playbook for elected officials, which identifies 60 actions that can be taken right now by elected officials with no approval necessary from state or federal government, but would have an immediate and lasting impact on a municipal's environment. And one of our partners, Whitney Wilson, will be speaking later today more in depth on the Climate Action Playbook. And I encourage any of you viewing right now to watch Whitney's presentation because there's really some great actions that municipalities can take right now. We also host an annual climate summit. This year's, we're hoping, knock on wood, will take place in September. Obviously, things are a little subject to change given the current challenges, but it's an opportunity to come together like we are doing today to identify emerging trends, but also celebrate climate successes. The Climate Action Plan we're very excited about. We realized that a regional model of resilience was going to be necessary because as a mayor of Roeland Park, I realized that my residents move between Kansas City, Missouri, or Prairie Village, or Raytown, or Leavenworth on a daily basis for work and play and social gatherings. So we realized that if we're going to do an emissions inventory, and if we're going to have a climate action plan, it's really important that we focus on a regional level. The entire 9-county Kansas City metropolitan, 2.2 million person region. It also gives us an opportunity to discuss and hopefully implement plans for tackling some of those regional challenges that are transboundary, like infrastructure, water, air quality, food, energy. All of those things go beyond our opportunity just in Roeland Park. So we wanted to create that model of regional resilience, and we found a partner in the Global Covenant of Mayors, as well as the International Urban Cooperation Initiative of the European Union. They have been tackling this regional approach beyond just one city in Europe for some years. And so we wanted to create that model for the United States. We've now partnered with these organizations as well as 3 other metropolitan regions across the United States, Washington, D.C., Denver, and Chicago, to mold this model of regional resilience through an emissions inventory, a climate risk and vulnerability assessment, and then a real action plan, setting a goal and identifying and prioritizing ways that the Kansas City region can reach that goal. This is our timeline, and obviously with COVID-19, things are a little subject to change, but we are in the process now of drafting a climate action plan, and in doing so, we want help from our subject matter experts, from the advocates that are here today. We'll be sharing opportunities for feedback and prioritization on our website, which is climateactionkc.com. Again, that's climateactionkc.com. And on there, there's going to be opportunities to discuss certain topics and to prioritize those actions through ranked choice voting, through commentary, and through collaboration to help us draft this climate action plan for Kansas City. We have started to bring subject matter experts together. This was late last year to launch our climate action planning process. And we're excited to have some not only elected leadership, but subject matter experts in various topics such as infrastructure, water, food, energy, in a total of 15 subject topics. The goal that we have started with is putting Kansas City and its entire 9-county region on path to meet the Paris targets. Now, for the United States, those targets are a 27% reduction within the next 5 years. We feel like we can meet this goal and then go bolder and go beyond it to make Kansas City a real model for regional resilience across the country. This is a little bit of our public policy advocacy. On our website, you can also find our Kansas and Missouri policy platforms, as well as a copy of the Climate Action Playbook. We did have the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. And speak with the House Select Committee on the Climate Crisis, who's preparing a report which has been shortly delayed, but will be published soon with recommendations for federal action. These are some of the other leaders from across the country that spoke at that House Select Committee meeting. This is a bit about our Climate Action Playbook. I mentioned earlier having 60 actions that municipalities can take now, from solutions such as buildings and cities to electric generation, land use, transportation, materials. I really encourage you to listen to Whitney's presentation later because there's a lot of great options in there for which we encourage people to advocate to their elected officials. This is a photo of some of the elected officials who came to the Climate Action Summit last September, and we're excited for the next one and hoping to be able to convene in September of this year. But it's really the leaders that we're excited to work with that makes this all very encouraging, whether it's leaders sitting around a table planning the summit, it's really encouraging, or whether it's elected officials getting together to talk about the action plan. Kansas City has a great model and a great amount of energy that we can build upon. There's so many experts that have been working in this field for so many years. It is encouraging now as an elected official to be able to draw from that knowledge base and help promote the good work that's been going on here for years, and hopefully help bring more of it to fruition. We're excited to work with a lot of partners, not only in the corporate world, but also in the advocacy world. And we thank Climate Council for the opportunity to be here today. And we obviously encourage the advocacy and education efforts that they put forward. We're excited to partner with them as well as others in this area. Again, I'm really excited to be here today. I encourage you all to please participate in this engagement process for the action plan, because we really feel like we have good political momentum throughout the region from a local level that can help get some of these bold policies implemented and really have a transformational impact on our emissions levels, but also those other co-benefits, public health, air quality, and really economic opportunity. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you for letting me speak, and I'm excited to hear some more of our speakers today. So thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Mike. I'm Bob Grove. I'm the president of the Climate Council of Greater Kansas City, and I want to welcome everybody here today. The Climate Council is a Missouri nonprofit recognized by the IRS as a public charity. Our mission statement is to educate, partner, and advocate for solutions that reverse global warming. So we work with partners throughout the entire metro area, both Missouri and Kansas, to help provide resources and help amplify their voices. A lot of wonderful climate organizations here in the metro area, and they're doing important work that people often don't know about. So our entire goal is to help amplify those groups and help them reach a larger audience. Hence our annual Earth Festival. We've been planning this for several months, and obviously a live event. So we were challenged with COVID-19, as everybody has been. And I'm very excited that our team was able to bring the entire festival online. So this is a wonderful event. Welcome to everybody who's attending this. For the next 2 afternoons, we will be presenting our Climate University, which is a series of 45-minute educational presentations on a wide range of topics, from climate science to faith-based initiatives to ways to deal with the stress and angst of climate and COVID-19, on the composting, onto just a variety of issues that are important to all of us, and that help all of us figure out ways that we can help fight the climate crisis. The actions that Climate Action KC is doing at the municipal, state, federal level are incredibly important, and we all need to engage and back them, become part of that initiative. But there's a lot of important things that we can do as individuals. We can't just rely on our governments and elected officials to do this for us. So what you can do is attend this variety of educational opportunities and pick up a lot of ideas for personal action. Starting tomorrow morning, we'll be doing a series of short documentary films on the environment. This is at 12:30 tomorrow morning. So please join us for Heart and Soil. We'll not only be screening some documentaries, but the filmmakers will be online for a question and answer afterwards. We have a COVID-19 climate change and pandemic presentation tomorrow afternoon that's very topical. And then throughout the week, we have a series of presentations called Sustainable Living. And these are very much targeted at you as individuals, what you can do to make changes in your life that will help us reverse this climate crisis we're having. So I encourage everybody to attend those. That's a 5-part series, so there will be one every evening next week. And then the entire series will be presented again on Sunday afternoon, all in a row. So if you want to do a Zoom webinar marathon, you can join us Sunday afternoon and just see all of those events one right after the other. A couple of other exciting events is the Building a Home Forest, Reversing Global Warming Yard by Yard. That's Wednesday, actually, 22nd, that is Earth Day. So 3 p.m., we're doing a collaborative event with Bridging the Gap, Heartland Tree Alliance, and several other important organizations to talk about how we as individuals can help sequester carbon, remove carbon from the air by starting a home forest. And this is actually very important. We often think about the big collaborative events where we go out and plant trees. And those are wonderful events. But there's a new groundswell of home forest, #million home forests. If we all just take the time to put a small forest in our backyard, we can have a dramatic impact on the carbon in the air. So please join us for that. And the participants will actually be eligible to receive free trees from these various tree organizations. So we will explain at the presentation how you can get these trees. And obviously we're respecting social distancing, so that will be by appointment. Some of the trees can be picked up at various locations. So you'll be able to go out safely, get a tree, and start your home forest. Then Wednesday evening, we've partnered with American Public Square to do a broadcast. KKFI will be live broadcasting this discussion. And American Public Square's mission is to bring people of unlike mind together to discuss issues. So we'll actually have a panel of people discussing climate change and what to do about it that's coming from different positions. We all believe in climate change. It's a science-based discussion, so there'll be no climate deniers per se. But there are a lot of different opinions on how we approach climate change and what needs to be done. So this will be a wonderful opportunity for a variety of opinions to be brought together, Q&A with the audience so you can ask questions of the panel and enjoy this discussion. In addition to that, just kind of on the recreational side, we have several music events throughout the week in the evening, so check those out. And Sunday evening, you know, what's a festival without a party? So we have our climate festival party Sunday evening where everybody's just welcome to, you know, interact with each other in the chat rooms. And, you know, we'll pass the mic around and let you talk about your experiences with climate and your hopes and aspirations. So thank you for being part of the EF20 Online 2020 Earth Festival. And we hope that this will be beneficial for you and everybody else. Final thing I want to say, the Climate Council is nonpartisan, so we welcome everybody to the table. I mentioned our mission statement, and we have a vision statement that you can see on our website, climategkc.org. I also want to lift up our social equity statement because we are committed to addressing the intersection between climate change and those with economic, social, and racial disparities. That's a very important issue. Oftentimes, the people most impacted by climate change are the people least able to respond to them. So it's very important that we consider how we can help address those. And with that, I'd like to welcome Jamie Burke with Hope Faith, who's doing a wonderful job in helping the homeless during this COVID-19 crisis. Jamie?
Thank you, Bob, and thank you so much for continuing on with this Earth Day event and everything you have planned. I feel really honored to be asked to speak for a few minutes, and I'll be mindful of that. I know our Director of Case Management, Alfredo, will be part of the university, so he'll be speaking this afternoon for one of those 45-minute sessions, and he'll definitely go more in depth. So I'll be fairly brief. Hope Faith Homeless Assistance Campus is located downtown Kansas City, Missouri. And we are Kansas City's only, and really one of the only homeless assistance campuses out there. You've probably heard of day centers, maybe day shelters for people experiencing homelessness. We kind of take it a little further. We're a 47,000 square foot building where we have everything from your basic necessities all the way through resources and partnerships with our case managers to help folks overcome the season in their life that they're experiencing. Of course, with the COVID pandemic, we fortunately are able to shift very quickly. So as a lot of the agencies, you know, the libraries, places where people are able to go during the day, were forced to close. They had no option. We were able to extend all of our operations outdoors. So now what you'll see is Hope Faith Village, which is consumed by Virginia Avenue. So just right outside of our Hope Faith building there in the, right there in downtown, right off of, it's 705, gosh, directions are not my thing, but basically on the northwest corner of downtown, or the northeast corner of downtown, I'm sorry. You kind of see that a lot of our social services are in that area of downtown. So you can't miss us. We're right catty corner from KCUMB. And we really can't miss us now because the entire street on Virginia has been blocked off and is turned into a village where you'll see many tents. You'll see some, we're very lucky that J.E. Dunn donated some fencing. Within that, we have a couple different paths for folks to take, whether they're feeling ill. We have medical services. We also have all of our services that we offer, from your daily meals to clothing to sanitation. We still have our private showers indoors, but everything else has been relocated outside to be able to maintain the health of our community. So I feel very honored to be a part of a team that can pivot so quickly and serve in a time when people really don't have a place to go. I will say the majority of our guests, the folks who we serve, whether low income, just trying to make ends meet, all the way through homelessness and experiencing that stage in their life. And of course, we see folks through a variety of stages, but a lot of our folks aren't staying in shelters. So a lot of our shelters in town have had to go on lockdown, of course, to maintain the safety of the community. The majority of our folks are staying in encampments. So for them to have access to hygiene and the things that we offer, it's critical. And we never want something like this to happen. We are grateful it's in a season where we can extend our operations outdoors like we have, and we plan to continue that throughout the summer or as long as we need to with this pandemic. We've had a lot of different agencies, organizations come together to support us in this, and we're just really grateful. We're really grateful to the Climate Council. Partnership has been really great. Climate Council has been very supportive of our efforts. And I know Alfredo this afternoon will go into more detail regarding homelessness and climate change and, just the effects on our community. I will say I've never been more proud to be a part of a team as I am right now. I'm a mom. I'm actually a single mom. And so I've kind of been forced to continue my role as development director remotely. So not only am I proud of the community for coming together to support our efforts, our team, though, they just don't quit. They just keep showing up every day, making sure that nobody, is left without access to basic essentials to survive. And we just really believe in that human dignity. And we really believe that people deserve those essentials and to have those basic needs met. We have some bigger initiatives like our Hope Grows initiative. We have a garden right outside Hope Faith where we harvest and we grow organically our own produce, and we harvest that. And the nutrition of the community is huge in trying to combat some of the ailments that we see. But we have a vulnerable population and community, so we're just really dedicated to protecting people through this. So like I said, I want to be mindful of time, and I think I already as I'm trying to locate our address. I've been working from home too long. I don't want to go any further, and certainly if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Please welcome Sami, the resilient activist.
Hi, Bob. Thank you. And I want to thank the Climate Council for pulling off an amazing week. This is just absolutely astounding, the quality and the number of presentations that are happening. I'm going to switch my screen here. So the Resilient Activist, I'm the founder of the Resilient Activist. We are a local nonprofit that was founded in 2018. And our mission is to provide community building and resilience tools for those who are fearful, anxious, fatigued, or overwhelmed about climate disruption and environmental devastation. According to a 2018 Yale study, more than half of Americans think their family and communities will be harmed by global warming. Even more think global warming will harm underserved people, those in developing countries, and future generations. The Resilient Activist offers education and programming to provide tools and supportive, healthy coping skills. We offer mindfulness practices, 5 essentials for a resilient world, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. Community building through monthly programs. We have a speakers bureau, and we partner with a number of other environmental organizations. And we offer resources for professional and therapeutic support specifically geared to ecological angst. Our programming revolves around the concepts of the 5 essentials for a resilient world: reconnect to nature, respect all life, regreen our planet, revamp our spending, and replenish our resources. And these concepts can be interpreted externally, as in how we can live our lives to be more in tune with nature, as well as internally, how we can use these concepts for our own stress relief and to build our own resilience. One of the main tools that we offer are meditation and mindfulness, especially meditation and mindfulness in nature. These practices are at the top of the resilience list. There are thousands of studies that show the benefits of meditation as well as time spent in nature to ease our fight, flight, and freeze responses. We offer a number of resilience resources. You can find us on Facebook at theresilientactivist.org. We have something called our Enviro Tips, which are simple steps for a big impact to living a greener life. It's an amazing resilience tool to know that the choices you make in your everyday life can make a big difference. And we offer Pebble Interiors. This is our sustainable interior design community that's just getting started. So I hope you'll check those resources out. We have partnered with a number of organizations. We're building a community of local mental health professionals, some through the Midwest Alliance for Mindfulness, and there are others in the Lawrence, Kansas area and through KU. Beth Sarver with Breathing Room KC is trauma-informed resilience culture educator. She's part of our board of directors. And we keep tabs on national programs through the Climate Psychiatry Alliance and the Climate Psychology Alliance. So there's more information about all of our resources on our resources page on the website. It's important to remember that what happens in ancient forests half the world away can have a profound impact on all living beings. I encourage you to watch as many of these EarthFest presentations as you can and boost your understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. We will have a number of online programs and you can find them at our events page on theresilientactivist.org. I'm offering a daily meditation every evening from 7 to 8 p.m. through April on Zoom. There's no cost to that. We have at the Earth Festival 2 presentations. Today at 1 o'clock, I'll be offering Ecological Angst, Building Resilience. And tomorrow at 3, Beth Sarver will have a session on the Good Grief Support Circle. So I hope you'll join us at these events. Next Saturday is our regular monthly climate conversations that we have. It is from 10 to 3 next week. It's a special one for Earth Day. Typically, it's just from 10 to noon. And we will be reconnecting to nature through Lawrence naturalist Ken Lassman and Joy Ellsworth, the founder of Clement Water. So I hope that you'll join us online and in nature for those programs. I also want to end with the concept that ecological angst, fear, and grief about what's happening with the environment, and especially the impacts with COVID-19, these are very real and very healthy responses, right? This is not some kind of woo-woo, crazy, made-up situation. That these are very serious issues that need to be resolved, and there can be that silver lining that if we have the supportive tools that we need, if we feel resilient, we can find the way to engage, develop, and enhance whatever technological, spiritual, social changes that we can make in our lives, and we will make a huge difference. So please be in touch if you need some support. We'd love to see you at one of our events.
Please welcome Meredith McCallister with the Compost Collective, Kansas City.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for the Climate Council. No, I echo everyone in saying that I wish we were all in person meeting, but I'm really happy to be meeting with you all virtually. So as Bob mentioned, my name is Meredith McCallister. I own Compost Collective KC. We are a food waste collection company. We focus on residential, so just households. And we were founded in 2017. We're based in Kansas City, Missouri, but we do collect all over the Kansas City metro. And our goal is to make composting easy for people. Mike, I know, talked about this at the very beginning, mentioning the carbon drawdown. And of the 100 ways to draw down carbon from the atmosphere, food waste was actually mentioned as number 3, and composting specifically was number 60. So by composting your food scraps, you're actually making a really big impact. And we want to make this really easy for people. So if you've maybe composted at home before, you currently do, or you maybe are in a place where you aren't able to compost, we try to just make it really accessible for people. Climate change, I know, can be a very daunting subject. It's a daunting reality that we live in. And so we know that by offering small and easy steps and tips that you can actually make a really significant change. And that's what we aim to do. So we've been around. Our process is that we provide a bucket. So it's actually just a 5-gallon bucket. It's nothing fancy that you can keep in your house. You put all of your food scraps. We work with Missouri Organic. I know Stan's about to speak. And that's where we take our food scraps. And by working with an industrial composter, we can actually take your meat and bones and dairy. So we take all that, collect your food scraps, clean out your bucket, and you start over again every week or every other week, depending on what you choose. So very clean, very easy. You just put your bucket out just as you would your trash. So that's what we do. In the future, we're continuing to expand. As everybody is, we're kind of on taking a pause right now with everything. But we're continuing to expand across the metro. So if we aren't where you are now, hopefully we'll be there soon. And then we're also launching a low-cost bin swap option, hopefully, assuming the world continues to move on in another couple of months. We'll be launching a new program this summer. So keeping this really short, really brief. If you have any questions at all, you can look at our website, compostcollectivekc.com. You can also find us on Facebook or Instagram. You can reach out to me directly, but I look forward to hearing from all of you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Please welcome Stan Slaughter with Missouri Organic Recycling.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Meredith. It's good to hear you. 2 composters in a row. Yay. I know that we've all seen a lot of the effects from the virus, and one of the things that I bet you all could confirm is that there's been a huge surge in the interest in gardening. And that showed up at Missouri Organic with a big change in our demand. Spring's always busy, but this spring is off the charts. Fortunately, we still have the material we need, but we don't have enough trucks, so our deliveries are pushed back quite a bit. That's the good thing. Gardens, people are seeing them as a source of food security, but they're also the nutrient-dense food that they can get and a climate-friendly activity. I'm the garden education specialist for Missouri Organic. So if you have any need or interest in gardening at this particular time, just go into our website and look up Sudden Gardens, and that's MissouriOrganic.com. And you'll be able to get a hold of me, and I do free presentations and free consultations on site and with video and what's that thing? FaceTime. And get you the information you need about how to get a garden started. As Meredith mentioned, we compost a lot of food scraps, and Paul Hawken did say that it's number 3 overall, but it didn't count the methane that's avoided. Number 3 for food scraps is the idea that that's the production, the generation, the energy lost, and fertilizer and fuel and all that other stuff. It didn't count the methane emissions. So if we count methane emissions that go from food waste in the landfill, compost is number 1 with a bullet. And so the most radical and effective thing you can do is to divert your food waste from the landfill. In a garden, in a in-soil digester like a green cone, lots of other ways you can do it. Participate with the Compost Collective. We're trying to work up some new proposals as far as bringing food waste to farmers markets, that kind of thing. But we collect 300,000 pounds a week at Missouri Organic. Unfortunately, that's about 5 or 6%. 2 million people make half a pound of food waste a day. That's 1 million pounds of food waste a day. So we need to step that up. Fortunately, we have really good capacity at our facilities to handle that bigger flow. We'd be glad to help. We also are pretty busy with education, which is my other hat. And we came up with this food too good to waste. And that's the EPA's slogan, but this is an educational program for students. This poster is backed up by a website, foodtoogoodtowaste.com, and a rap song and some other things. But the point is, we want schools to be doing a good job recycling and reducing food waste to get our kids involved. So I'm speaking tonight on the alchemy of compost, how 2 + 2 = 9 if you let it. And I'm also doing a rocket environmental music show Thursday night at 6. So look forward to seeing you on this channel, and see you at 6 tonight. Contact us at MissouriOrganic.com or stan@MissouriOrganic.com. Thanks very much, and congratulations on this great festival.
Please welcome Steve Melton and Jennifer Brown of the Citizens Climate Lobby, Kansas City.
Hi, am I on? Hello, I'm Steve Melton from Citizens Climate Lobby. We're the people who pass out the Vote Climate for the Children stickers and signs. You see one above my shoulder here. You may have seen them around last year. First of all, thanks to Bob Grove and all the other great people at the Climate Council of Greater Kansas City for making this wonderful event happen.
And I'm Jennifer Brown. Steve and I represent the Kansas City chapters of Citizens Climate Lobby, a nationwide and international group of over 180,000 volunteers working to stop climate change through the legislative process. We now have a bill before the U.S. House of Representatives that will actually do just that. It's called the Energy, Innovation, and Carbon Dividend Act, or House Resolution 763. Kansas City's own Emmanuel Cleaver is one of 80 bipartisan co-sponsors currently backing this bill. This bill places a cash fee on fossil fuels that increases predictably every year. All the fees collected would be distributed back to the American people as monthly dividends. How cool would it be for you to get a check in the mail each month, paid for by the coal and petroleum companies? Everyone gets the same carbon dividend, so the smaller your carbon footprint, the more money you get to keep.
By incentivizing people and companies not to emit CO2, we can reduce CO2 emissions by 40% over the next 12 years and get on track to meet our Paris commitments to be carbon neutral by 2050. In fact, putting a price on carbon is the single most powerful weapon we have against global warming, according to all of the econometric data. We would like to thank Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas, Mayor Pro Tem Kevin McManus, and Councilwoman Catherine Shields, and the entire Kansas City, Missouri government for making carbon fee and dividend a 2020 federal legislative priority.
You can learn more about Citizens Climate Lobby and the Energy, Innovation, and Carbon Dividend Act by going to our website at kcccl.org. That's kcccl.org. And we invite you to join our 45-minute Earth Festival 20 webinar at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. And we'll more fully explain why carbon fee and dividend is an essential tool in the fight against climate change.
And Citizens Climate Lobby will also provide a panelist, namely me, for the American Public Square signature event, The Fight for Our Future, which airs Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on EF20 Online.
Please join us for these informative webinars. Thank you for all that you do to save life on our planet. And vote climate in this crucial election year. Thank you.
Thank you.